Next up, the Chinese rolling out the red carpet for world leaders arriving at the G20 summit in China, all except for our president. In fact, they didn't even give him those stairs at first. Another snub on the world stage. It's sad, but we'll take you live to China next.
It's awful, isn't it? Hi, everyone. Another snub on the world stage. China rolling out the red carpet for world leaders at the G20 summit, but not for President Obama.
Yeah, look at this picture. The drama surrounding his arrival doesn't end there.
No, there was a lot of drama on the tarmac yesterday. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork is traveling with the president, and he joins us from Hangzhou, China, with more. Kevin,
it kind of reminds me of that meme on the internet. You had one job, get the stairs with the red carpet and get it up to the blue and white aircraft. Alas, that did not happen, and it was pretty interesting to look at. Let me just show you again that picture. I think that's just perfect, right? Okay, so the official word is they didn't have the right stairs, you know, the ones that would reach all the way up to the door of the presidential aircraft. But that photo says they had them everywhere else, so what gives, right? Trust me, they had the stairs. I don't believe that they didn't have the stairs. So the president ultimately was forced to deplane Air Force One through the underbelly. Now, if you ask him and ask the American diplomatic corps, it's no big whoop. But the fireworks really started after that. The Chinese, as you know, have kind of a complicated relationship with the press. They tried to corral the American contingent and keep them from watching the president, even delaying National Security Advisor Susan Rice and her deputy Ben Rhodes for just a short time. And then, of course, words were exchanged, including this, Jim, from the Chinese official. This is our country and our airport. Wow. Later on, it was all calm and cool as the presidents, Obama and Xi Jinping, strolled through the little garden, had a little tea before all the hard work here at the G20 was set to begin. Interesting beginning to things here in Hangzhou. Now, I want to point your attention to a couple things that will be very important. The president obviously did have his bilat with Turkish President Recep Erdogan, talking once again about the importance of this relationship with his NATO ally, and the Americans pledging to get to the bottom of that attempted coup. And yes, we're also looking forward to the president's conversation with Vladimir Putin, although that has not yet been scheduled. You know it's going to happen. Of course, I'll bring that to you when it does. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Kevin.
President Obama touching down in China ahead of the G20 summit. The president all smiles here with the Chinese president, but we're learning the trip got off to a rocky start with heated words between a White House aide and a Chinese official. White House correspondent Kevin Cork is live in China. All right, Kevin, we want to hear what happened there.
Yeah, tension right away, right? So if you had any hopes whatsoever of a flawless and perfect G20 summit, all right, they're out of the window. They're gone, because right off the very start, and just a little bit of a dust-up, but just for clarity, keep in mind, this kind of reminds me of the 2009 visit. This sort of an aggressive posture here in China, I think it's fair to say. And so, again, that was on full display today, as we saw Chinese officials demanding their White House counterparts ban photographers from their usual position to mark the president's arrival in a foreign country. Even National Security Advisor Susan Rice was temporarily denied access to the president. But again, I don't want to sort of overstate it. It is sort of par for the course if you've ever been here before on a trip like this. Now, despite the tension, the two leaders, we're speaking of President Obama and Xi Jinping, did manage to carve out some moments of calm during a nighttime walk. Highlight of the day, clearly the Paris Climate Agreement, but there are still several areas of disagreement between the two countries.
We will have, once again, candid conversations about some of those differences around issues like human rights or cyber or maritime. But our teams have been engaged. They have worked very well and diligently together. And so I want to thank not only you, Mr. President, but also your entire government for the constructive way in which we have worked in preparation for this meeting.
With UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon on hand, Presidents Obama and Xi Jinping did formally commit the world's two largest economies to that joint plan to reduce greenhouse gases. A very big day, an historic day here at the G20. Now, the president, with an obvious eye on the upcoming election, did talk about the way forward, not just what will happen when the new U.S. leader comes into office in January, but also in trying to maintain this very critical relationship between the U.S. and China. Listen to the president.
I'm absolutely committed to ensuring not only that this is a productive meeting, but that we're also setting the stage so that the next U.S. administration comes in with a relationship that is on a strong and productive footing.
Clearly, this will be a very interesting G20, not just talking about economic issues and security issues. Maritime issues will clearly be a very big topic of discussion, not just between the U.S. and China, but also the Philippines getting in on that conversation. And also, Laura, be sure to keep an eye on the sideline meetings. Yes, the president does have a formal bilat set up with Turkish President Erdogan, but we also expect him, as we should, to have some time with Russia's President Vladimir Putin. That should be very interesting, and of course, we'll bring you all the details from here in Hangzhou. But for now, back to you.
All right, Kevin, thanks so much. What a great assignment. We'll look for more of that.